kilos.
There he is, shaven-headed Chuck Gardner from Minneapolis. It took him 30 hours to get here. He weighs 17 stone 4. A man who was out of the ring for 3 years, came back 13 months ago. He's had 5 wins against mediocre opponents. And now he faces big Frank Bruno, the former European champion. And Frank is going to try to put him away quickly. He has to tonight. He has to look good if he's going to maintain credibility as a world heavyweight contender. Gardner, official age 33, admits to being 35. Some people would tell you he may be even older. He stands 6 feet 4. He's an inch taller than Bruno. Bruno weighs 16 stone 6. So he's conceding 12 pounds here to Gardner. But it's a fight Bruno has to win. A defeat here and all credibility goes. What a sight this bald-headed American looks. He looks more like an all-in wrestler than a fighter. He really does look ancient. Even what hair there is grey. And a lot of that 17 stone 4, you can see for yourself, is flab. And there's the first punch from Bruno. Not a heavy one, but Gardner felt it. This fight being held in the Palais des Festivals in Cannes, where they screen all the films during the film festival. This is the Grand Auditorium where they're fighting. It holds 2,400 people, and it's very close to capacity. That's a good punch, and that looks to me as though we may not see any more of Chuck Gardner of Minneapolis tonight. One punch, that's all it took, and he's out, and good enough. The man took 30 hours to get here. He arrived exhausted on Thursday night, had a nightmare journey. He clearly is underfit, and it only took one not terribly lethal looking punch from Bruno to put him away, and he's still stricken. And so all the suggestions that this was not a good match, I'm afraid, have been proved right. The man had no chance. He shouldn't have been in the ring. And Bruno won't be too proud of that victory. In fact, he looks concerned. That's a victory that has done him no good at all. Terry Lawless wants him to have as much fighting as possible, but you don't want fights like that. It's done Bruno no good, and it's certainly done Chuck Gardner no good, and it's a relief to see that he's regained consciousness.
You're going to be all right, pal.
Even though he's still down. Well, I'm just saying you're going to be all right, pal, but I don't know whether he'd agree with that.
Okay, let's get him up. Okay. Get a stool.
Well, it's a pathetic sight in this festival hall in Cannes. The big man who came all this way to be put on his face by a fairly innocent-looking punch. It looked like a jab. In fact, it was a left hook, just hooked, and it was all he needed to pitch full on his face and out to the world.
You all right, chum? Yeah, you're coming round now. You okay? You all right?
That's the voice of George Francis, who's in the corner there, trying to reassure Gardner that he's going to be all right. And Bruno looks very concerned indeed, as he might. Well, it's none of Frank's fault. He doesn't pick the opponents, and the fact that the man wasn't a proper opponent is not Bruno's fault. But he certainly doesn't need more fights like that. He's scheduled for another fight in Marbella, in Spain, in August. And we have to hope that the opposition will be rather more resilient than that. Chuck Gardner, possibly 35 or even older, a pro since 1976, his 30th fight tonight, and his umpteenth defeat.